Welcome to Around the World in 80 Bottles. Today we're traveling to Greece. Now, some of my favorite food memories that really got me into cooking came from a trip to Greece years ago. And one of my favorite meals was in the kitchen with my friend's mom, Dina, and she made incredible meatballs. Now, the recipe as I got it was very much like if you talk to your grandmother and they say a pinch of this and mold it till it looks okay. So I've taken this over the years and actually put numbers with the amount. I don't know if it's exactly what Dina did, but it tastes really good. You can eat these on their own, have them with a salad, have them over pasta, and there are always enough for leftovers, which work really well around my house to have extra. So what we're going to do is start with breadcrumbs, and then we're going to add enough water to where they're not completely dry, as you can see. And all I did was throw these in the food processor. It's just a little bit of French bread. And then this is 4 tablespoons of water, and of course your recipe is underneath the video. I'm just going to mix that together to where it's moist but not soggy. All right, so then we've got salt and pepper, some oil and vinegar, a little bit of basil. Now you can use fresh basil if you have it. I didn't happen to have fresh basil today, so we're using some dried. A little bit of mint. And same thing with mint. If you have a sprig of fresh mint, you can use that instead of the dried. I'm just working with what I have in my kitchen. And then we've got our garlic, our peppers, and I've got 3 kinds of peppers. It doesn't matter. You can use any color you want of bell pepper. Our chopped carrot, a good bit of onion. I actually took a little onion out of the original recipe because there was a lot. And then our ground beef. And then you're just going to mix everything together. Once again, if you wanted to do this in your food processor, you can. To me, part of the fun of this recipe is in the making of it. So all we're going to do is mix this really well together. And then I'm going to put it into balls about an inch across. And then we're going to bake these for 15 minutes. Now, you can cook these on your stovetop if you want to, but I've found that 15 minutes in the oven gets them to the perfect doneness without any of the extra grease. So they're actually very healthy. And you can do these with turkey at home. If you want to use it with a combination of pork and beef, you can do that. What I did was I got the leanest ground beef I could find. So overall, it's a very healthy recipe. It's got a lot of flavor from the herbs and the vegetables, and not a lot of flavor from fat. And you'll see when we're doing Greek cooking that I don't use butter at all. Everything is done with olive oil. I didn't see butter once when I was over there. So all we're going to do, well, I'm going to have an easier time squeezing these than rolling these today. And you can see I'm doing this in a 1-inch diameter. Perfect for your pasta or just to eat on their own. And then I'm going to simply line this baking pan. And I've put a piece of parchment on here just because it makes it easier for cleanup. It doesn't need it for the recipe. I might be cooking a lot in my kitchen this week, so I'm trying to make my cleanup a little easier. So I'm going to line this baking sheet, bake them for 15 minutes, and then we're going to have some with a nice Greek salad. As you can see, I've baked the meatballs for 15 minutes, and they're beautiful. I'm having a hard time not eating one right now, and you can really smell the mint and the basil. I can do these with a really nice tomato sauce, but today I want to do it with a Greek salad. And I wanted to demonstrate a Greek salad because they don't really do lettuce with all the things that we think of. They actually chop up the vegetables. A lot of times they do them family style on the table. And then the feta or the other cheese is always on the side and not as a component of the salad. So I've got onions and peppers and tomatoes and olives. And then I've done halloumi for the cheese, and that's actually going to be our food item this week. Halloumi is this wonderful grilling cheese that comes from Cyprus, Greece. And if you put it on the grill or on your stove top in a pan, it actually sears on the outside and gets brown, but it doesn't melt. It makes a really great component to this cold salad to have a warm piece of cheese on top, and it has a little crunch because you sear it on the outside. So I'm simply going to take my piece of halloumi that I have cooked, and instead of serving it on the side, I'm going to put it on top of my salad, and then I'm going to serve my meatballs with it. Now, as I mentioned, you're probably going to have some leftovers with your meatballs, but that's good. It gives you the opportunity to do more than one dish. And these really are, they're healthy, they're delicious, and they're so easy to prepare. And you can freeze them if you want to keep extras, but I've found that they never last more than a few days in my house because once you start eating them, you want to have them every meal. So here is our Greek salad with some grilled halloumi and our Greek meatballs. Now, what I have paired this with today is Elios Red, which is a combination of 1 Greek grape and 2 international grapes. So it's Mediterranean with a little bit of a twist, and it's perfect with this dish because it has enough heft to go with our different spices and the meatballs, but it's not overwhelming for our vegetables. And it's got a nice little herbaceous tone that goes really well with the peppers and the onions. So I hope you'll enjoy this, and I hope you'll join us next time on Around the World in 80 Bottles as we continue our travel in Greece. Cheers!